we have to be indebted to is Gaudapadacharya. For the pinnacle of the non-dual philosophy is his work called as the Mandukya Karikas. Gaudapadacharya in that work says Manaso Nigraha Yatam Abhayam Sarvayoginam Dukkakshaya Prabodhascha Yakshaya Shantirevacha. It is only by mastering the mind that four things will be accomplished. It is by mastering the mind that these four things will be accomplished. Oh, and it is common to all the yogis, those who are all walking the spiritual path. And that yogi means he who has now chosen to walk the path of liberation, because now he is no longer, he sees the limitation of worldly and the other worldly experiences. So he says, even though no matter how amplified, glorified these experiences and these objects are, ultimately they all end in sorrow. Even those people whom you say and objects that you say are, are sources of joy, you will have to depart from that. If not, those objects go away, you will have to depart. And then this departure becomes extremely painful. And therefore, ultimately, all of these Buddhas, they have what what do they have in their final phase is only Dukkhameva. Okay. And that's why Sage Patanjali also says that Sarvam Dukkhameva hi Vivekina. A Viveki. Viveki means a person with discriminatory. That discrimination is not racial discrimination or anything. This discrimination means discrimination of what is right, what is wrong, what is true, what is not, what is called as real source of happiness, what is called as dukkha. When you are able to discriminate, then only will you be able to move forward. This it is a form of understanding. It is not something that is as we see the world outside, the racial discrimination or discrimination or based on sexist discrimination. No, it is a clear understanding. That is what we mean. So he who is endowed with this kind of discrimination now chooses and he says, now I want to be free from this entanglement. How should I do? And thus, this person, when he that prayer or that thought arises in him that I want to be free, he immediately has entered into the spiritual path. He is not spiritual just because he goes to a temple or church or anywhere, or he seems to be praying. He becomes that. This is basic requirement that you recognize liberation as the goal of life. And so, for all the yogis, this mastery over the mind is the primary thing. Because have you ever seen how your mind is only making you dance? Huh? Like a puppet, controlled. And so, manaso nigraha, nigrahayatam abhayam sarvayoginam. The first thing that will happen is there will be freedom from insecurity. Abhayam will be there. And a person who is himself not insecure, he doesn't become a threat to others. He doesn't become a threat to others. He doesn't see that he needs to threaten anyone. Hmm. Now, even our love is also based on a threat. If you don't do this for me, I will leave. I'll stop loving you. So you're threatening. And this is how you barter it. So you really see how our life is controlled by insecurity and fear. What will happen? for that yogi is there will be abhayam. What will be there? Abhayam means freedom from fear. Then dukkha kshayaha. There will be gradual destruction of sorrow, misery, gradually. And not that tomorrow morning, today you have become a yogi and tomorrow morning, oh, where is that come gone? No, no. It will gradually go away, taper away. So dukkha kshayaha, prabodhascha, enlightenment will also be there. You will see what is the true nature of the self and what is the nature of this world. Because there is nothing beyond these 2 points. Just between these two banks is the river of life flowing. One is I, and the other one is that what is not I. What is the third point that you have to show? Even if, oh, there is God. Now, if you are going to keep God as the third point, between these two, God will be, is God Atma, self, or God that what is not you? Again, two. And therefore, all that is there, really speaking, is clear understanding about these 2 points self and that what is not the self. That's all what you need to know and its true nature. So, prabodhaha api and akshaya shanti. Akshaya means, now kshaya means gradual destruction. Akshaya means imperishable. That is a negative particle and then it means not. Okay, akshaya, the imperishable peace. Your, your peace cannot be destroyed, cannot be contaminated, polluted, reduced, compromised by any situations or anything. This is what happens today to all the yogis, provided when he brings the mind under control. But sir, you have a fantastic plan. That's nice. But we know what kind of mind we are carrying. Okay. It would be easier to tame a devil, but this mind of mine, Amiji, please don't tell me about it. This seems to be an impossible task. And so, if this is a difficulty that you are going to see, then you are not the first one to have this difficulty. Every yogi, every spiritual aspirant also sees it in the same way because everybody feels I am a special case, isn't it? Swamiji, I am special case. You have to treat me special. So over here, Arjuna also asked, Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramati balavatradham tasyam nigraham manye vayo rivustushkaram iti tadvachanam hathayoga vishaya. Now he says, Arjuna says, Oh Krishna, I feel that this mind is extremely difficult to be tamed, to be domesticated, to be brought under control, to be mastered. Huh? Why? Because it is adamant. You can keep convincing yourself, but it will ultimately, when the time comes, you will find that you are doing that what is dictated by the mind. So tasyam nigraham manya, and therefore the nigraha, the control over it, I find extremely difficult, like controlling the wind. You know, how are you going to control the cyclones and storms? So over here, remember this, he says, you cannot bring the mind or master the mind with the technique of Hatha Yoga. And this Hatha Yoga does not mean, that what you are learning here as called is what is called as the Hatha Yoga school. You're not doing. No, no, no. Hatha Yoga is altogether still different. You will get the definition of it. And so there is yet another form of yoga, spiritual practice that you will have to take too. What is it? Listen. Upavishyo upavishye ekachittakena muhurmuhu na shakyate manojetum vinayutim aninditam. Uh, and you will have to put yourself again and again to this task. You cannot be disappointed. You cannot lose hope. You cannot lose your heart. Stay over there. You remember that story of the King Bruce and the spider? And we had it in school. You had in Malaysia? King Bruce was not there for you. You people know, right? No. Okay, then listen to King Bruce's story. You know, Mina? No. So, huh? I don't know which King Bruce now. That was I just King Bruce. Huh? No, if there are any the 1, 2, 3, 4 Bruces, I don't know. Huh? Huh. Huh, huh, huh. So what happens is that this King Bruce, he is fighting a battle, and almost all his army is defeated, and he is chased by those enemy soldiers into the forest. And he, in order to save himself, protect, he enters into a cave. He enters into a cave. Those people are already chasing. Okay. And when he enters into the cave, he sees that there is one spider which is trying to make a web on the mouth of the cave from where he has come. That small thing, hole. But that spider climbs and falls, climbs and falls, climbs and falls. It is not able to really do that. He says, "What, sir? Go outside. Spiders are not nice," we will say. And we would have, whisked it away. But this King Bruce sat quietly and he saw to it that, what do they call? That the spider ultimately was able to climb and it was able to make that web. After the web was made, those enemy soldiers arrived at the mouth of that cave. And they said, is he hiding there? So one fellow who was a smart aleck said, no, the spider web is unbroken, which means he has not entered. And they are left. King Bruce was very thankful to that spider, but he still broke the web and came out. And he comes out, but he learns one lesson, and that is no matter how hard your life is, don't give up. It is indeed difficult. Spiritual path is difficult. Nobody says it is an easy thing. The Upanishad says, Kshurasya dhara, it is like walking on the razor's edge. Ah, Kshurasya dhara, क्या है? Nishitha duratyaya. These are the words of the Upanishad.
निशिथा दुरत्य
हाँ सरिता तुम्हें याद है
दुर् यस
क्या है जोर
चिरस्य
से बोलो
धारा निशिथा दुरतया दुर्गम ततस् दुर्गम
पथम
यतस्तस्
कवयो
कवयो वदन्ति
वदन्ति है ना मेरा रेडी रेकनर है हाँ, so this is how that path is difficult. All these great people, learned people, they say that how is the spiritual path? It is like walking on a razor's edge. Just please, somebody please. recording pause करते हैं. Punyanand Ji Maharaj is calling up, if you are recording. Swamiji, Namo Narayan Maharaj Ji. जी स्वामी जी. जी स्वामी जी, अभी 8 नवंबर को पूरा हो जाएगा ये नवरात्रि के बाद थोड़ी दिन और. जी महाराज जी, क्या आज्ञा है? महाराज जी जरूर, आपकी आज्ञा है जरूर. 8 तारीख को पूरा हो रहा है महाराज जी. जैसे महाराज जी कहे वैसे मैं करो. जी महाराज जी. जी जी महाराज जी. जी महाराज जी. जी जी महाराज जी. जी महाराज जी. नमो नारायण महाराज जी. Okay, sorry. I generally don't do this. This was my Guru Sannyas, दिया है उन्होंने फोन किया. So what happens is, this King Bruce learned a lesson and he said, I'm not going to give it up. And this is what we have to also learn. No matter how dushkaram it is, don't have to be disappointed where my spirituality is all gone. This is not meant for me. No, nothing. Then for whom is it meant? Huh? For the cows here in the street? If not for you, then for whom? Huh? So therefore, you are the recipient, and that's why don't lose your heart. Upavishya upavishye kachittake muhurmuhu. Bring your mind together, collect it. Don't let it get scattered again and again. It will be scattered, it will be lost again and again. Bring it. Keep doing that. Muhurmuhu. Na shakyate manojetum. And it is not possible to bring this mind under control without employing the right means. Yuktim aninditam. And how is this yukti? Anindita yukti. Anindit means which is not censured, or which is not, what do they call? Ninda. Ninda is what? Eh? Chakresh? Huh? Nah. Why? How did you scold yukti? क्या बोलते हैं? Whatever, you understand.
Censure
Huh?
only. Censure, Swamiji. Yes.
मनोविलय हेतूनां युक्तीनां सम्यगीरिणं वसिष्ठेन कृतं तावत् तन्निष्ठस्य वशे मनः. Now remember, this is how it is said. हठतो युक्तितश्चापि द्विविधो निग्रहो मतः निग्रहो हि क्रियाक्षाणां हठो गोलक निग्रहात्. Now there are two ways of yoga. One is called as the Hatha Yoga, and the other one is called as the Yoga of Intelligence, Yukti, Yuktitaschapi. And both of them are means of bringing the mind under control. But how, sir? Nigraho Kriyakshanam. Now, the mastery over the sense organs and organs of action is called as the Hatha Yoga. That is called as Hatha Yoga. Just don't simply say Hatha Yoga means, that what you're doing over there. And these are, people have chosen these names because some people have chosen the name Ashtanga Yoga for asana. Asana is not Ashtanga Yoga. Asana becomes one part of the Ashtanga Yoga. Out of almost 200 sutras of the Yoga Sutra, only 3 sutras are given to asana. And there is a vast field for you to discover. But now only these three sutras, everything that these people want to make it that everything is this only. And so they are calling even asana as the Ashtanga Yoga. No, Ashtanga Yoga is altogether different. So also what is meant by Hatha Yoga is the mastery over Jnanendriyas and Karmendriyas. Golaka Nigrahat, by bringing these organs under control. Kadachit jayate kaschit manastena vidiyate adhyatma vidyadhigamaha sadhu sangame evacha. Vasana samparityagaha pranaspanda nirodhanam etastu yuktayah pushpaha santi chitta jale makila. Now, the second yoga that we were talking about, so Hatha Yoga is only meant for what? Let us say you decide for next 10 minutes, I'm going to keep my eyes closed. Now, what are you doing? Golaka Nigraha. Now, you can try this. That if you're just sitting in one position, posture, then you decide, I will not change my posture. I will not change my posture. And let me see how long I can retain my posture. Now, you don't go in Mayurasana and then think that you are going to do or some Vrishchikasana. You know, that scorpion pose and all. No, simply the way you are sitting. How? With your spine raised erect, and then your shoulders are pulled in behind, and then the center of gravity is also balanced. So you sit. Then you decide that this is how I'm going to sit. 10 minutes. Then you increase your capacity. 15 minutes. Now this is how you bring this is called as the Golaka Nigraha. Okay? Golaka Nigraha. This is then called as Hatha Yoga. This is called as Hatha Yoga. Now, the yoga by which mind is going to be brought under control is like this. Adhyatma Vidya, it has got several aspects, facets. What are those facets? Adhyatma Vidya Digamaha. It means your you give yourself the study of the spiritual texts, like the one which we are doing presently. The Yoga Sutras, Bhagavad Gita, all this becomes what? Adhyatma Vidyadhikamaha. To, to, what do they, assimilate the spiritual knowledge. Okay? Oh, so Adhyatma Vidyadhikamaha. Sadhu Sangame Evacha. Being in the company of people who are sadhu, who are walking the spiritual path. Evacha. Vasana Samparityak. That company is also extremely important because you will be discouraged otherwise outside. What is there? Who knows spirituality, God and all? Why should we bother about it? Forget it. Eat, drink, and be merry. Have fun and frolic. And so hedonism then is the underlying idea. Hedonism. You see? No. So we need people who will be encouraging you toward this path. So you require those people. Sadhu Sangame Evacha. Vasana Samparityagaha. Then also work on yourself. Look at that. Work on yourself with self-improvement. Fill your life with divine qualities, virtues of life. Thrive. No matter in house, what, even if it is a small step or a small measure, but improve on yourself every day. Every day. Make your life a store of, of good virtues, good qualities. And you know what? The best thing is, you alone will know where the shoe pinches, isn't it? And the person who wears the shoe will know where it pinches. So you will only know where is it that you need to improve. But Swamiji, I'm very nice to everybody except one person. So you know where do you need to improve. That one person is the front where you need to be kind. So like that, vasana samparityagaha, then prana spanda nirodhanam, then control of the pranas, of the breath, sharirantarvarti vayu, this control of the pranas. Okay. Satyeshu yukte ha etasu. How many yuktis have you found, layers? Adhyatma vidyadhigamaha sadhu sangame evacha vasana samparityagaha pranaspanda nirodhanam. 4 aspects. Now this will become your life of yoga. Don't just think that, life yoga begins on the mat and finishes on the mat. Yoga goes all the way, even into how you interact with the world, how you respond to the world, everywhere. Are you being kind, compassionate, or not? But I believe in God. Is not that enough? No. No. That's not going to be enough. You believing in God is not getting a license to be cruel in this world. Isn't it? No, not allowed. So then that is not spirituality. It is just you have sought yourself a license to be violent in the world just because you say that I believe in God. No. It is better not to believe that. If that is what your belief is going to make you into, it will be better if you didn't believe. Okay. So thus we find that there are these 2 nigrahas, hatha nigraha and krama nigraha. Because the second part which you have seen is how it is going to be every day you will have to walk a little further, gradually. And so it is called as krama nigraha. Krama means sequentially. It will be a sequential development, improvement. So you don't think that, now that you come and then when you go back home, you will be carrying an aura behind you. What did you do? Rishikesh, spiritual, yoga, you come with an aura. No, nothing. You are just going to go back. But now you have known what to do with life, how to deal. Karma nigraha. Okay. Now he says that Adhyatma Vidya Adhikamaha, to assimilate the spiritual knowledge. Assimilate means it is not just collecting and memorizing. Because memorizing means that you think that if it is parroting, then that is not spirituality. What happens is, you remember that there is this story out to Gurudev, some Chidananda used to tell this sometimes. In a forest, there was one wise bird. There was one wise bird. He told all those birds around that, look here, there is a hunter. What is it called? Those people who trap these birds and sell them. What are they called in English? No, no, no. So the hunter only, let us say. So he will come, he will lay the, what do they call, net, throw the seeds, grains, but you stay alert. Don't get down and eat the seeds or those grains. Otherwise, he will trap you. All the birds were made to sit by him, and he made them learn it by heart. The hunter will come, lay his trap, throw the seeds, but we shouldn't go. All the birds sang with him. The hunter will come, lay his trap, throw the seeds, but we shouldn't go. One day the hunter came, laid the trap, the net, spread it, and then threw the seeds. The birds were watching. And they were singing also. The hunter will come, lay the net, and they all got down. They all got down, started, eating, and they got trapped. So this is spiritual knowledge, assimilating that knowledge is just not like that. And as even Gurudev said, even when the hunter was carrying that net on his back like that, these birds were still singing. The hunter will come, lay his net, throw the seed, but you don't go. And they sang. Okay. Now we are going to see the Krama Nigraha, gradually how you are going to make this improvement, yoga. So Krama Nigraha is the second one. In the Krama Nigraha, what was the first aspect? Adhyatma Vidya Adhigama, to assimilate the spiritual knowledge. What is that? Sacha Vidya Drishya Mithyatvam Drigvastunaha Swaprakashatvam cha Bodhayati. Pay attention to this. This point is, we may not elaborate on this point, but you can keep it with you. This is that spiritual knowledge, by which now you are able to understand that there are only two things, the seer and that what is seen, I and that what is not I. And what is the nature of these two? That this I is self-illuminous, self-evident Swaprakash. And what is the nature of that what is seen? It is only an appearance. What is it? Only an appearance. So don't get deceived. The entire drishya is mithya eva. Drigvastunaha swaprakashatvam cha drishya mithyatvam cha bodhayati. Tatha cha sati etanmanaha swagochareshu drishyeshu prayojana bhavam prayojanavati drishya drigvastuni agocharatvam cha bhutva Nirindhanagnivat swayameva upashamyati. Now what happens? Tathacha sati. Now when this happens, when you are able to understand, now this is matter of understanding that the entire range of all the drishya padartha is what? Appearance. And that means including this body also. This is also something that is seen by you. and therefore it is only an appearance. Okay, I will tell you why this is called as an appearance, only to give you a little idea. You see, one of the teachers that I lived with, Swami Hansananji, used to live across the river. So he used to explain it this way, that the food that you eat, the wheat, rice, lentils, they have their own shape or not. So when it is harvested and brought, it is in form of these grains. Then those grains, rice or wheat, is ground, and then it becomes flour, powder. So the same wheat has changed its form or not. Then you knead it, and it is made into a dough. Changes, the form is changed or not. Then that dough is rolled, it changes its form or not under the rolling pin. Then it is baked, it changes its form or not. Then when you break and then you masticate it in the mouth, the form is changed or not. Then the same wheat goes in and becomes, blood and bones and everything, form is changed or not. So this muscles and bones and blood, that what you are saying is what? Is the wheat changing the form? What else is it? Only wheat changing its form. So wheat appears as this body. And that's why, what is this now? That what you're saying, oh, this nothing. It is what? Just the wheat, the grains, the food has changed its form, and that's all that what this body, etc. is. So this whole world is nothing but an appearance. The appearances keep on changing. But and so now etan manaha, let your mind also understand that where this mind has got an entry, where can it go? In the drishya, in that what is seen. What is the nature? Appearance. And what is the nature of the seer? That is Swaprakash, self-illuminous. The mind cannot turn back and see this seer. And therefore, that which is the source of light, life, and joy, this seer is not something that can be grabbed by the mind, and therefore the mind is unemployed. It doesn't have to go into the drishya and cannot go to the drashta, to the seer. And therefore, what happens? Now this mind eventually subsides. It subsides. Like how? He gives you an example. Like Nirindhana Agnivat, like the fire which has run out of its fuel. Nirindhana Agnivat, like the fire which has run out. So what happens then? The fire which is burning, that wood and etc., is finished. Now till the last point that fire may go, and after that the fire will get extinguished. Like that, this mind will also become quiet. This is how the mind is mastered. So what is the first thing that is to be done? Is to acquire spiritual knowledge. Knowledge of the self and that what is not the self. Yet there is another variety of person who is, though he is explained, but he cannot understand. Correct? All of us. He is explained, but he cannot understand. Bodhitam api tattvam na samyak buddhyate. He is not able to understand it properly. Yascha vismarati. Then what happens? He also forgets it. And then tayoru bhayoho sa. So there are two problems, that he does not understand properly, and even what he has understood improperly also is forgotten. So there are this problem, his problem is twofold. Na samyak buddhyate and then vismarati cha. What is the solution for his problem? Therefore, he says the second one is sadhu sangama upaya, that be in the company of the saints and sages. Be in the company of the saints and sages. Why should you be in their company? Sadhavo hi punah punaha bodhayanti smarayanti cha. Because these people, these sages, what will they do? They will tell you again and again. By then this is the way they will explain. So bodhayanti. And will also remind you because they are going to say the same thing. Bodhayanti smarayanti cha. And therefore sadhu sangama, being in the company of the saints and sages, is the second part, which will help you to bring this mind under control. Now, this is the second. Now, there are some people who say, what sadhu and all these people? You don't require any guru, you don't require any teacher. You are going to meet such people in life. Or maybe your own mind will only say sometimes. And therefore, Vidya Madadi, I know better than him. So what is this Vidya Mother? Arrogance of your knowledge. Huh? Mother. Mother means arrogance. Actually, this word mother is very interesting word. Huh? Huh? That is matam. Takara. This mother word is very, very interesting word. You know, in Rishikesh, let me tell you, we have 2 elephant corridors. You've seen, there's several in fact, but 2 when you come from the Dehradun side. Elephant corridors are there. It is Himalayan elephants. They are majestic giants, beautiful animals. But what happens is with the male elephants, when they are in their rut, there is a liquid that is secreted from their forehead, which is some sort of their sweat, the male elephants. And it runs down and it goes into their eyes. Okay. Now this elephant is already intoxicated because of his hormones. Hormones, what do they call it? Hormones only running haywire. And on top of it, now he is even blind. He's mad. He is huge. He is powerful and also blind. And that is the reason why these elephants in the rut will go and then, uproot the trees or even break these walls. Forest departments, these houses over here, under where Siddhartha used to live. So many times that elephant will come and destroy those huts and all. The people in the middle of the night, they have to run with their dhotis. They just run, what to do? Oh, my money, my wallet, all leave it to run. The elephants will come sometimes. What this is the elephant. Now that liquid which comes down is called as mother. So people are blinded, intoxicated, and that is also called as mother. Some people are intoxicated, they become blind and with arrogance because of their I have graduated from Harvard, or I'm this, that, this is my educational quality. That becomes their reason to be arrogant. Or I have plenty of money, I can do whatever. So that is another kind of intoxication. Somebody is intoxicated because, oh, I'm beautiful. My shape of my nose, nobody in this world has. Like this, Swamiji, I'm natural beauty. Some people have told me this. Swamiji, I'm natural beauty. No makeup, no nothing. Look at my nose. I said, then what do you do with that beautiful nose? What will I do? I said, with our nose we breathe. What do you do with that? You're doing the same thing. But now he's proud because of that, and then that's why he sees other people as something low. You see, that is called as mother. Then there may be a yogi, spiritual aspirant, who has Vidya mother, the arrogance of knowledge. And that is the reason why he will see the sadhus who are simple, who are not learned, but they are living a life of a sadhu. Those people he will look down upon them. And that's why he loses an opportunity to learn from them. And that's why he cannot be the beneficiary of sadhu sangha. He cannot become the beneficiary of sadhu sangama. And therefore, for such a person now, it is told he has to work even more meticulously on giving up his own, what do they call this, you know, demonic, in a sense, bad qualities, whether it is arrogance or whatever, all these things, conceit. So, yastu vidyamadadi durvasanaya vidyamano sadhun na sadhun anuvartitum na utsahate. न साधुन अनुवर्तितुम उत्साहते तस्य पूर्वोक्त vivekena vasana parityaga. So he has to now, the sadhu, because he is not going to be benefited by that sadhu sangama. What will he have to do? He will have to work even more meticulously on himself, more careful, more stringent in observing how his mind becomes, how he becomes arrogant, how he becomes, conceited, so on and so forth. And then sometimes, though you know that this is what is something wrong in me, but I cannot help. That time, now comes the fourth aspect of your spirituality, and that is pranayama. Comes the fourth aspect of your spirituality, which is called as pranayama. Pranaspan nirodhanam. The control of the breath also will bring this. Okay? So these are and if your life is a mixture of all these four inappropriate, what do they say, quality and according to the situation, then your spirituality will be unhampered. You will blossom on this path of spirituality. Prana, Spanda. So these are the four things that you have learned today. What are those? Adhyatma Vidyadhikamaha, company of the sadhus, acquiring the spiritual knowledge first, company of the sadhus, working on yourself, and control of breath. These are the four things. And over there is how the control over the indriyas is had is Hatha Yoga. That is the other one. Okay. But just don't say that Hatha Yoga is going to do everything for me. No, that will not happen. All right. So you have to be alert and then follow these cardinal values. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashakutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Veda Bhagini व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. Thank you all. Thank you very much.